a.m. The Wake Up Call with Tierra Berry and Ty Cooper, bow tie that is, and Romeo International coming your way. This is an exciting morning today. It is peace and purpose the entire weekend. It is almost 24 hours of transformation. Woo!
The sun is shining, shining, nice and bright, bright. The birds are chirping, chirping, and I'm excited. Time to get ready, ready for another day. No one can stop us. Oh, we gon' learn to play. Oh, every day we learn and play. We do our best, so we'll be great. You do your best, best, and I'll do mine. So let's get ready, cause it's about that time. Good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, how do you do? Good morning, time to be great. Good morning, good morning, your dance and play. Good morning, sun start today. Good morning, open your eyes. Good morning, reach for the sky. Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 how do you do? Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 how do you do? Good morning. You see me on my grind. Woo, stars got to shine. I'm a supernova. Yeah, you see me taking over. Yeah, I'm on the move. I got a way to stride to it. So let me hear you say.
Every day we gonna work and play. Hey, hey, it's your day. It is rolling out. AM coming your way. We are in peace and purpose. You know, it's true. There's always a better person inside of you. What's happening? Ty Cooper, bow tie, Romeo International on the scene. Your day, think about what you do. And of course, Tierra Berry, what's going on, Spellman? We got Spellman. Spellman in the house today with Ty all day long representing. She's going to be there, bow tie. She's going to be there. We want you guys to know we love you. Tune into Peace and Purpose. This is part of our transformation, reimagining yourself, get in the right business. Tierra Berry's rare. You know, Ty Cooper has some of the most beautiful, creative minds doing all they can to inspire us to really reimagine ourselves. What's going on, y'all?
That's right, Monson. I am excited.
Ow!
It's today, y'all. If y'all didn't know, it is today. If you've been following any of us, we are super excited to be a part of this amazing, life-changing event, right?
Yes.
Romeo, ready?
I'm ready.
So timely.
Timely, and definitely appreciate all the support of our sponsors, Cream of Nature, McDonald's, Georgia Power, Acorn, and blackbookstore.com for all coming forward, helping us. Really great influences, change agents like Yandy, who clearly have been on the front line of social justice, taking the time. Rashawn Ali, her interview, incredible. We've got the GOATs. I mean, like literal GOATs. Jamal Bryant, Pastor Jamal Bryant, all coming forward. So what's up, Tierra? I know you got something happening. You present.
Good morning. Yes, we're going to talk about cannabis. Actually, in my morning report, we got a little bit of cannabis talk going on. So it's a really exciting conversation I can't wait to be a part of and just enlighten people on the importance of our community getting a part of this gold rush that's happening right now.
That's cool. Gold green rush. That's what I call it. Green rush. If it's your style, you know, I'm in the media business, so another coloring book, blackbookstore.com, and a little bow tie is where I'm at. But I love it. We've got to be.
No, it's so fitting too, because me and Tiara, we have this green on today. All this winter green.
I'm gonna call my stylist right now and figure out if I can.
Go pull it out.
Romeo got some green at the top. What you mean, Romeo?
I know that.
I had to get in there. I mean, can't let y'all ladies look. Y'all look gorgeous this morning, by the way. And shout out to everybody who I was happy to see on social media a lot of people participating and posting with a purpose. Peace and purpose posting that we did all week. I was so excited to see people's we had people posting their enjoyment of 2020. I know it's hard to find enjoyment, but a lot of people post about their family and stuff. So it was dope. I enjoyed seeing it.
Amen. Peace and purpose, and we want everybody to find their peace and their purpose. But I had the most thrilling experience interviewing a real GOAT, Shirley Caesar. So,
Shirley.
Come on, Miss Caesar.
Greens, beans,
you know,
chicken, turkeys.
All right. Yes.
You name it.
You name it.
Sick, he healed me.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't the song. I don't know what song y'all.
It is. I was sick. He healed
me. Again, there.
On you, Miss Shirley.
Oh yeah. So I asked her about that, and she said, "Well, you know, it's in her song, the old mule." And so she says, "I just saw myself in the garden, and I just want us to remember and love our blackness. Like let's just be black culture and peace and purpose. Let's really
always my skin, my logo.
Right. Let's just be great black excellence, you know. So yeah, she's a real GOAT. Craig, I told her I compared her to Maya Angelou as God's angelic gospel storyteller.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
You know, 8-minute song, Romeo. 8 minutes, 11-minute song. She don't have the threes. She had a 10s and an 8-minute long.
She got the extended album.
You know, she said
she got them praise and worship.
Talking about you, Romeo. She said
she got them. What time y'all getting out of church?
She said she put the song on and the DJ go to lunch.
For sure.
All the way to lunch.
And then what time y'all get out? 2 o'clock.
That's that revival song right there. That's that
evangelist. She evangelist. You know.
Glory. Right.
She got that anniversary church. That anniversary ceremony.
That's a good one.
They said it's time for a report, so I guess it's up on you, Tiara. It's time for somebody.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Goodness.
Thank you guys. Peace and purpose. Much love.
And we are live on Hopping right now. So thank you everybody for tuning in with us, kicking it with us. Friday, 8:07.
Yes.
Report.
Right.
All right. So the United Nations has officially removed cannabis from the most dangerous substance list. Now, remember, we talk a lot about, what it means for those who are incarcerated or formerly incarcerated, getting reinstated their rights. And the process kind of has to go in this direction where they first acknowledge the fact that it's not as dangerous as it's been made out to be. So the UN Commission of Narcotic Drugs has voted to remove cannabis as a Schedule 4 controlled substance, a designation reserved for the most dangerous substances, including heroin. So now that it's going to be classified in a subgroup of Category 1, considered to kind of be more for limited medical and therapeutic value. So that's kind of a step in the right direction. We'll get more into that this Sunday in the cannabis talk, but I do, see the excitement a lot of people are having around what's going on right now in this season and the steps that I guess the world is trying to make to put people in a better position at this time.
Romeo, what is this face? What is this face?
Because Ty, you know me. It's funny how they can make everything legal. It is so interesting to me how everything all of a sudden can be, this right here part is good because we said so, but you still ain't letting people out of prison. I still have a personal problem with everybody a part of that community because of every single month it gets better for them. But every single month, little Tony's still going to jail. You got to make sense to me, man.
In certain places. I mean, they have, we talked about what's going on in New Jersey right now, my home state, and Arizona as well. Voters have approved the constitutional amendment that legalizes cannabis and has opened dispensaries already in certain parts of the country. So I think we're moving forward. Of course, it's a lot of challenges when it comes to being Black, but it's going in a good direction. You can't say it's not.
Yeah, say what you just said. They're still opening what? They're still doing what? And where am I at? Still in jail. Oh, and I'm still in jail.
Okay.
They're opening dispensaries and I'm still in jail, Ty. They made it legal, Ty, but I'm still in jail, Ty. Matter of fact,
right,
Ty,
you know why? Who we gonna call this person in jail? Lil Tony. So guess what? Lil Tony, he's still in jail. And guess what? They couldn't get no money out of Lil Tony when he was selling that dro. So they like, Lil Tony, you gotta stay in there. Y'all, Lil Tony is a fictional jail person.
If you ain't paying taxes on what you selling, your ass is grass.
Yeah, you in there like swimwear, unfortunately, because
they can't tax it.
Yeah, they can't tax it. They can't really, monetize it. So guess what? They will still be in jail. And to Romeo's point, that's the unfortunate part. We're making moves with them being able to tax it, or at least try and have some type of.
And when I say they tax
or visibility on what is actually being grown and sold, etc. So they can't tax it. To your point, Tiara. But at the end of the day, I think there's still a long ways to go because we have a lot of our culture, our people, men and women, still in jail regarding a substance that they're now classifying was really not dangerous. I would probably classify cigarettes, tobacco, and
as even more dangerous.
Alcohol as way more dangerous, because I've seen so many people pass away from liver or bone cancer. It's just all these different things. And and I ain't sitting now. Listen, this is just from my perspective, okay? So it could be worthless, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you because I'm on this show to tell you. I ain't seen nobody smoke weed die from smoking weed.
Okay, because Snoop Dogg would have been up the creek without a paddle by now. Okay,
come through now. And and I know you got to move on. All I'm saying, until I actually hear a company say, hey, we're opening here, but our company is dedicated to getting this many people out, I'm not paying that company no attention, because only thing you're doing is jumping on the train. I get it.
And as a owner of a cannabis business, I have been doing a lot of research regarding ways to implement people within the society, whether it be through education or reform. I think it's just important to build up your knowledge, because it's a chess game when it comes to this. It's more than just saying, I'm going to invest in this industry and try to make money off of it. But when it comes to the principles of my people and the knowledge that it takes to actually be involved and participating in making a difference, it's definitely important to do your research and see how you can get involved in decreasing the incarceration rates.
Absolutely.
I'm with you.
Let them out. Let them get that money. That's money. They've been becoming
millions. Y'all gonna let us in? Okay.
Come on, just let them out. And all I ask is that when y'all get out, go legit with it. Go legit with it. Do it the right way. At the end of the day, if they're legalizing it in some areas, go to that state. Go ahead and get your paper up. Okay?
There you go. There you go. Make it fair.
Yep.
Don't send me. Yeah.
All right, let's move on into the next story. So,
what up, Kathleen?
Speaking of our favorite smokers out there, Snoop Dogg is to launch a boxing league after going viral for his commentary last weekend for the Nate Robinson, Jake Paul, as well as the Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. fights. People loved Snoop Dogg's commentary. I did myself. I thought it was extremely entertaining. I thought it was hilarious. And, Snoop Dogg gonna figure out a way to keep his coin and keep things going and moving in his direction. So if he's doing a fight club, I think people will tune into it.
Absolutely. Snoop is so freaking entertaining. When he said, oh, Lord, when that man fell out on that ring, I was like, wait, rewind it back. I was like,
sure.
But you know, it breaks up the mundane. So for one, I'm really not I don't get into boxing a lot, but my dad is like a crazy boxing fan, and my dad be crawling all on the floor when the people get hit. He that guy. Like, you want to watch him instead of the actual fight.
Right.
whenever it's on. But when Snoop Dogg was commentating, when I tell you, it brought life to it. It made it.
It was really
yes, Romeo. It made it hilarious, right? It was like, wait, this is different.
He was like, this is like two uncles at the barbecue.
Right.
I will say this. The only thing that I like, well, first of all, stop fighting Mike Tyson. Everybody, leave that man alone. Holyfield. Roy Jones Jr. is hurt right now. Y'all have not heard nothing from that man since the fight was over. That man is hurt. He holding his ribs right now. Leave Mike Tyson alone. Now, I do love the fact that they've created similar to Ice Cube and his Big Three. They've created something where older athletes can make money and generate income. Now, that part I do like. What I don't like is leave Mike Tyson alone. Just leave him out of the picture.
Yeah, y'all leave Mike alone. Y'all just let Mike.
Don't nobody want to smoke with Mike Tyson.
Yeah, just let him coach somebody. You know, my boy Roy Jones from Picola. He was hurt, and he said he was hurt. He was like, look, but you know, did y'all hear about the agreement of Mike saying to him that he wasn't gonna like hit his face? Did y'all hear about that?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
No, it ain't. He got all body shot. Like, did you watch? Because I watched.
I think I would rather get punched in my ribs and in my dome by Mike Tyson.
Yeah, because guess what? It'll be right here all day.
He be looking like Nate Robinson. How Nate Robinson was looking like Martin in that episode.
I think that was Steve Harvey. He was like this. That's what a bit.
That would have been just like Martin when he was like, "Give me a kiss, Gina." She said,
I would.
I don't fight no more. I don't fight no more.
Baba. Yeah, okay, wait, stop. Wait a minute. We can't go after my boy Roy Jones. Jesus, no.
Man, you ain't heard.
They said it was a tie, so at least he didn't get knocked out. I think it was more embarrassing of a night for Nate Robinson than Roy Jones.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I still feel bad for that man. I said, what the hell was he doing running in there like that? Romeo, I know that ain't how they do it, is it?
He got knocked down 3 times.
Ty is married, right? Let me tell you something. It's nothing more embarrassing than going home and you got to explain to your wife why you got knocked out. You got to explain
to your children. Explain to your sons, Dad, you got your ass beat. Like, how am I supposed to go to school with that?
I told you to take out. I bet Ty would have been like, I bet you gonna take out that trash now. Okay.
I'd be like, why did you run into it? Why did you run into his fist? Like, he literally was like,
no, seriously.
Like
get a hit in.
You can't.
Stop hugging this man.
You cannot fight.
Yeah, right. I think he was emotionally there. Like, I think they said he didn't like the guy, right? So he put emotions first and just forgot all about his training and all of that. He was just like a windmill. He might as well did this, TR. Like how he used to fight.
Yeah. He did.
No, seriously. And I also think that there's a difference between being a decent fighter and knowing how to box. Like Jake Paul, he actually trained in a way that shows that he actually knows how to put some gloves on and get down to business.
I want to talk about him. Let's skip on because
Ladies and gentlemen watching, I'm gonna give you 3 tips to let you know you should not fight a person. First tip: if they start off the conversation with "I bet," don't fight them. If a black man start out with "I bet," don't fight them.
Okay.
The second thing: if a black man decides to fight you in his Air Force Ones, don't fight him. He a real no. First of all, no black man want to mess up his shoes, so he gonna fight you.
Okay, I got it.
If he gonna fight you in the shoes, run. The third thing you definitely never ever want to hear before a fight start is, right, you swing, I'll let you swing first. Huh? What? You gonna what? Let me swing first. Cause hood dudes are good with that. Hey man, cause you'll hear somebody in the background. Hey man, let him swing first. Huh? Time out. Let me swing first.
Can I add one, Romeo? Can I add one?
Go ahead.
If they quiet. If they quiet and they ain't saying nothing, you wipe your ass. You hear me? You wipe your ass. Okay? Because they crazy. Like you don't know where they coming from. They may come out this box. Like you don't know. They may be like, oh, I ain't saying nothing, so you don't know where I'm coming from. Okay, that's my ad. The quiet ones. You got to be careful of them, right, Romeo?
Yeah, you got. Man, I want to tell y'all this story so bad. But one time I almost got my different story.
Not you was on the receiving end.
Man, look, Tierra. This is what happened. I give y'all a piece of it, and check out. Make sure you let y'all know, man. It's the wake up call. We live from the Peace and Purpose retreat. So this is gonna be some peace and some purpose. Hey, I was about to get into with somebody in high school, and you heard the girl, and it was a crowd. This one girl said, Leroy about to fight Romeo in his Jordans. I said, oh, whoa, time out. Why you say it like that? Like you talking about fear kicked in. I was like, hold, time out. What do you mean?
Sketcher days. He's ready.
That sound like body shots.
Yeah, like, what you mean? What about me? I got. What about me and my clothes? Now Leroy about to fight you in his Jordan. Also, Leroy fight. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that Leroy was a fighter.
Got to be more careful.
About somebody looking for a teacher. Hey, teacher.
What time class start?
Hey, you heard about this? You heard about this, teacher? Such and such.
You know
principal. Look, you go straight to the principal. Hey.
Yeah. You know we got a test. Y'all know we got a test. We got to go.
We got a test today.
Man, when I heard, I was a rap after that, man. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, that's hilarious. Well, speaking of people who have beef, let's bring up the last story of mine. Cynthia Bailey reportedly is suing her ex-husband, Peter Thomas, for $170,000 loan over his foreclosed nightclub. Now, this is an interesting story because, as we know, Cynthia Bailey has since moved on. She's gotten married to her new husband, Mike, and it appears that back in 2017, the bar was foreclosed in Atlanta. Okay. And Peter went to Cynthia and asked her for a $170,000 loan to start over with a new and improved nightclub to serve as the sister space to the one in Charlotte. Now, the one in Charlotte, that one does really, really well. I don't know if the one in Atlanta was ever popping like that. Long story short, recent court documents reveal that Cynthia filed a lawsuit against Peter in an effort to collect the $170,000. She says she contributed to the building. Since Cynthia's name is on the deed of the building and the building is now in foreclosure, she wants her money back. The court documents state that Peter is not scheduled to begin making any payments until next month, but it's just the simple fact that they are no longer married. She gave him money. Now she's married again, and they have this battle. It's an interesting thing. Do you think that she has a right to get this money back? Ty.
I think Ty went to that spot a couple of times. That's why she does it. I can't remember the name of it though.
Bar one? Wasn't it Bar one or something like that?
Bar one. That's what it was.
I do think she's in her right. Absolutely. A loan is a loan. Business is business. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I sure wish this wouldn't have did that. I just wish she would not have done that. I know a lot of ladies out there in an effort to support their man and in an effort to, help them. it could, both our names will have to be on there, not just mine. Like,
right.
I think that's where it gets sticky for her now, because she's trying to retract those funds. And in 2017, y'all, correct me if I'm wrong, but were they still together or were they separate?
They were either separate. I don't think they were together. I think they were either separated or getting into the final stages of being divorced. But now she's married, so it's kind of like as a new husband in the picture saying, babe, you need your money back from your ex, so it could kind of be those type of conversations going on within their household right now. That's putting a little ice and pressure on the situation for her to kind of collect her coin.
Understood. It's just you really have to separate business and personal life. Doesn't sound like that quite happened, but I could be wrong.
True.
Get money, man. Cynthia, get your money.
Yeah, get your money back.
I remember bar one, but I don't really remember bar one.
In Atlanta.
You're right.
Yeah.
But I don't see nothing wrong if you're in a relationship and you give your significant other money. That's just what you do. It's called love at that point in time.
Well, hold it down, because I don't know if they were together.
You saw it as an investment.
Well, I mean, they was together. You ain't gonna get no money to somebody you ain't together with.
Not $170,000.
Why not? If it's a business move.
Women. Hey man, get your money. Leave it at that.
Yeah.
Where else she at? Tiara.
Oh, so that's the end of that story. We do have some.
That's it. That was good. Ty. What's happening, Ty Cooper?
Nothing much. Getting prepared for this Christmas season, and this piece of purpose is just allowing that introduction to just organically transition us all into the purpose why this is a season of giving and loving and sharing. Y'all can see I got like pink Christmas trees in the back. Like,
I love the bear, the flower bear.
Yeah, the little flower bear. Like, it's just, I'm a Christmas person. Romeo, why you laughing at me?
Pink Christmas tree. But go ahead.
I got like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, I got all the
and the reindeer.
I love it. You got to be able to transform, and definitely in COVID, create your own environment, which is part of what Peace and Purpose is about. Being able to create it, have some kind of therapy. So I love the little reindeer in the background. I'm gonna take the reindeer and know how to actually do visualization skills, which are getting ready to happen. I mean, it's important that you have the capacity to create, to imagine, to reimagine what it is, to relive memories. I mean, how to recall memories so that you're not feeling like you're missing the beach. And, you know, and it's holiday. So for those who are going to have to really make some decisions about whether they want to be exposed to COVID, get in the COVID environment, how can you be okay saying no when people want you to say yes during a holiday? So it's really important that we think about self-care, because a lot of people, and in Atlanta, they don't tell you that the beds are full. That's not how people start off when they start their conversation. They don't say the beds are full, but you need to know the beds are full. So they may not have one for you, so you might be in the hallway, and I don't know if that turn up is worth that turn down. See,
right? That's a serious turn down. One, you don't know you're gonna come up from. So,
and you know, all the lies that were told in the front, you know, it affects every age group. So, but just here in the ATL, I'm not sure that they have that. Great guest coming. Who's coming on your Cream of Nature stage? Who's coming there on your?
Oh, I got some exciting guests. Tawanda Braxton. She'll be there sharing all her deets, but we have a special guest.
My friend.
Hey.
That's my
happening.
Morning, everybody. How are you today?
Morning.
Good morning.
That's my friend. I claim him first. My friend.
Peace and purpose to you. You've got a special on Sunday. You're actually interviewing and moderating a conversation.
Yeah, I am. I will be in conversation with Dr. Tara Jenkins, who is the First Lady Emeritus of Fellowship Baptist and an author of a new book that I have all my notes in called Enoughness. So we will be talking about the secret of your next big success. So those who have, good career trajectories, I think they have a great story to tell and great nuggets to pass on to people who may either be at the beginning of their career or trying to switch, or even in your personal life. So right now, what people are kind of like rah-rahing me for is I'm taking a radical sabbatical. So for the month of December, I am off work, I am off social media channels, and I am just trying to really relax, relate, release. And so, in the spirit of peace and purpose, like trying to find my purpose, trying to reset myself, that is something that I'm doing for myself, is taking this radical sabbatical for the month of December. But I'm so excited about the conversation with Dr. Tara.
Wait a minute, Christy. The whole month.
I love that.
Have you done that before? What made you choose December too?
Week, and I was like, oh wow, but not a month.
Yeah, no. So for me, this year has been a doozy, right? It's been crazy. And I have been working nonstop to keep business coming into the agency that I work at, to keep my own mind straight, to be a good helpmate and support for my husband. And so for me, I needed this time, an extended amount of time. And no, I haven't taken a whole month off probably since I started working, which was in my 20s, to just be me, to just live, to just write, to do whatever, to read. I have a stack of books that I want to read. I have my Peace and Purpose meditation coloring book that I'm coloring on. So, it was that I just needed to come out of it. And I work in marketing and PR. So social media is like a lifeblood in terms of the work that I do. And I just needed to kind of separate. And you know how people be posting the messages like, I'm going to be off social. And you'd be like, you didn't need to tell us that. But I needed to tell people because I work in this industry. Right. And so I gave people notice that I'm going to be off social media for spiritual maintenance. And if you need to get at me, my coordinates, but I'm really just taking this time.
Love that. Love that.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Right. Oh, my fault. I was going to say it's crazy how you talk about social media, because the way I see it, and because I'm social as well, it's kind of like you turn it off, but then like an hour, 2 hours later, you turn it right back on because you're afraid that you either miss something or you're afraid that something went past. The question I wanted to ask that you just said something is, a lot of people found it difficult to find a purpose during this pandemic. Like a lot of people are still stuck on March, which is weird to me. And they didn't grow. What happens to people, in your opinion? What happens to people who can't detach?
Right.
And it's about to be a new year.
So I'll say you do not have to wait for the new year to live your life in a way that serves you, that betters you and improves you. And I think that for those of us who have had the privilege, and it is an absolute privilege to be able to work remotely, to work from your home, to not have to be out, it is a time to just go inside and think about, what do you want to do for either the rest of your life, the next 30 days, whether that's a small thing like, I want to get some of this COVID weight off me. I want to eat better. I want to write. I want to sing. Like whatever that is, I think taking that time to kind of explore that is truly a privilege. And for me, it is, I just have gratitude every day about the fact that I am still employed. I still am breathing unencumbered. As Munson mentioned, people are struggling from a health standpoint. And so rooting in that gratitude and then kind of thinking about my life and what do I want to do next. And it doesn't always have to be tied to money, right? It doesn't always have to be tied to what is it you do. It's who you are and who you want to be and how you want to show up in the world for other people.
Yeah.
I think you brought a very good point up when you talked a little, I think you called it spiritual maintenance. And I love that you said that, because it sounds like the panel that you are going to be, moderating with Dr. Jenkins, it sounds like her book with Enoughness is going to touch on that too, because to your point, Christina, a lot of people that we're seeing in the pandemic, and Romeo, I think he said it very well, people are stuck in March still. And they're not, they're stuck there in a depression state, like, woe is me. But the opportunity is out there, like peace and purpose, like this whole virtual experience, like literally it is so inexpensive, only like, come on now, like literally $20. We'll spend that on takeout, like,
and there are a ton of free codes. I mean, Yandy sent out a free code to her people. Cynthia sent it out. Ava sent out. So it's not even about the 19. We've got some of the best speakers. The other thing is, I think when you talk about a radical sabbatical, it's sometimes writing it down. Like, don't start your year without a plan.
Right.
Like, are you really going to start your year without a written plan? Are you really going to start it without a little bit of self-evaluation? Are you not going to learn a little bit about art therapy and the value that it adds? Do you want to just sit in on the vision board class to get an idea of vision? Or do you really need to understand from some of the economic development people? Or are you on your home ownership journey? And that's not home number one. That could be here home number 5. It could be your investment.
And to your point, Munson, so my discussion with Dr. Tara about her book is, you have to start at being enough. Like, knowing that you exist in the world and that you are enough, and you have the power within you to go after the things that you want. So I feel like you can't even get to all that stuff until you start within yourself around what you deserve, that you are enough. And it's not what you do, it's who you are. Mm-hmm. And then from who you are, what you do is great. In her book, she talks about a lot of her own personal stories, which can connect to people because it's very relatable, and then some recommendations on things to do. And for me, a lot of this pandemic has been about connections and virtual connections. Not, it's amazing how you can have connections with your friends and support the people within your network, just using technology or using a note. Like, I like to write notes in the mail and send them to them. I joined a group called Just for Girlfriends. That's just an organization of women who support each other. We do little things every month to just keep our minds motivated. So, there's a lot of things that you can do to feed what I said, Ty, spiritual maintenance.
Right.
In addition to going to virtual church, and whatever feeds you, just look to do that.
Yeah. I want to ask you, I'm sorry, y'all. I got to get this question in, because you said that you took the sabbatical of, December totally off, and you were working nonstop for your agency, and you had not taken a month off. You said, like, when you were in your 20s. So I know you had to go down deep into what you're going to be talking about for Peace and Purpose event, when even with her book Enoughness. What did you, so with along that subject line of enoughness, what made you say, you know what, I'm going to take this month off, whether the agents or whoever I work for says I can or not? What made you say, you know what, I'm gonna do it? Because I'm like, oh, you asked for a month off. Like, how did you do that?
Well, so what's dope about where I work is my CEO is great. She was very understanding. She understood the reason why, and I prepared for me being off. So I put together a 4-page plan. Here's how y'all need to support these accounts while I'm out. Here's how you need to support these clients. Here, so I gave them the roadmap to be able to function in my absence and feel supported with that. And, our agency, we're a Black-owned, woman-owned firm. We have Black and brown people at our firm, and Black and brown people been going through it. So she understood I needed to step away. She understood I needed to take a breath and pour within myself, because I'm just going to come back all that more dope in January. So
love it.
Yeah, but we still got time because I'm in this. Yeah, but the one thing that I'm noticing that people have real fears. Like, people have a fear that if like you said, people are just on go mode. People have a fear, like, if I stop, I'm going to lose job, income.
Right.
So they're not doing mental. What I've watched, because I was even doing this myself. I wasn't doing mental checkups on myself. Right? It was, are my aunts okay? Is my mom okay? Do I need to make sure that they're okay during the pandemic? Do I need to help the kids get iPads? Like I'm mentally taking care of everybody else to the point where I have to continue at 100 miles an hour. I think a lot of people don't know how to stop because they're afraid to stop.
Yeah. And the world that we live in makes it okay not to stop. They champion don't stop getting it.
Yeah, don't sleep.
That is a very US centric view. Once you get out of this country, you see in other countries how people take care of themselves, how people value naps, how people value not getting emails on the weekend. So I will say this, you know, a month off may not be everybody's solve. It is my solve for me. And at this point in my life, after having worked for 20 years, but for other people, it might be a day. Can you take a day for yourself? Can you take an hour to breathe with yourself? Can you, because it's like, if you're not putting that airbag on first, and y'all have heard it. If you don't put the airbag on first, you cannot assist somebody else. You can't pour into an empty cup. And so it gets real when your health gets affected. It gets real when your pressure is up. It gets real when you look around and you're like, I have these pains and aches in my body. It's your body telling you, because your mind, you not listen to your mind or your heart. So your body's going to tell you, and your body's going to shut you down. Your body's going to sit you down, as they say. So
I had that happen one time. I did. My body was like, oh, you ain't doing nothing today. I was like, hold on, man. My mind saying we up. My body was like, nah, we not up. We not going nowhere.
And I feel just the concept of rest, y'all. Think about it. Our ancestors couldn't rest. They literally could not rest. They did not have the ability to rest. If you go back generations, they were working. Even on Sundays, they had to work. So to even be at a point in our lives as Black and brown people where we have the ability to rest, we have the self-awareness to know that we're enough, to take that time for ourselves, I think is really great.
Yeah. God had to rest. 7th day. Okay. So I champion rest.
Exactly.
Well, we look forward to you giving us more on that stage with Dr. Tara. We really appreciate you coming by and just letting us know, because I think it's important that maintenance is a real reality. And I think the lack of maintenance is not even pouring an empty cup. I think for most people, it's pouring in a leaking cup. And you can't keep anything inside you. You can't keep joy. You can't keep happiness because you got a leak. And when you're leaking, there's always something that's slipping out of your cup. Courage you had, you just can't get enough courage to change your behavior because your cup is leaking. So at Peace and Purpose, we're bringing individuals who can share with you. You got Pastor Jamal Bryant. You got Pastor Charles Jenkins. You got the great Shirley Caesar, going to give you some insight on understanding. I mean, she literally wrote a song for George Floyd talking about it. She shared the fact that when she was 12, people were trying to kill her. So this is not new. And when we think about the very trauma that we've gone through, we want Peace and Purpose to heal. We want individuals to hear from real entrepreneurs so you don't get in business and lose your shirt. So we really appreciate it. Self-maintenance, enoughness on the stage. What time is that on Sunday?
We are on at 3 p.m. Eastern, and for my Chicagoites, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for coming on Rolling Out AM. We'll see you on Sunday.
Thanks, guys.
Yay!
Peace and Purpose, everybody. This is Rolling Out AM with Todd Cooper, Romeo International, and Tierra Berry.
Good morning.
All right.
Christina was definitely a mood. I want to be for life. Her whole aura, she's a mood. I love the way that she did not allow the fear of,
and that's all it is fear
that she was trying to do. Yeah, she was like, you know what, I'm gonna put a plan together and I'm gonna present it to you, and you're going to accept it. And I'm going to be off for this whole month of December.
Gonna deal with it.
I love it. I
But
love
the
that.
beauty of different industries is most people in the ad business are finished on 15. So
Yeah.
we're pretty much wrapped. Everybody has bought their ads. Typically, they're coming back by the 4th, so it's there. You just got to plan. I mean, I was on a call with a client yesterday, and the client said, and as of the 11th, I'm good till January. And I think people plan. When you don't plan, nothing good happens. You're just hoping that you run into goodness. And that's not the way to do it. I think we have a piece of purpose, a very group of specialized practitioners to help get your mind reset, reimagine. Did Shirley Carter join us today yet, Romeo? I hadn't heard anybody.
I haven't heard anybody either. I know we about to jump into the Black History Jewel of the day. What's that, Tia?
Say it loud. I'm Black and I'm proud. All right. Black History Jewel of the day is a special shout out to one of my favorite groups of people over at the Morehouse campus and all around colleges all over. Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. First Black Greek letter organization was founded on December 4th, 1906 on the campus of Cornell University. So that began the train of the Divine Nine. So shout out to the Alphas. So
Cool.
That is super dope. I can't wait because we're gonna have some the Mrs. Black and Old Gold court on later today. So it's so fitting for Alpha Phi after the Zeta Mu chapter at Georgia State. So very, very, very fitting for today.
Yeah, I already got some Alpha Secretary like cash at me 1906 for Founders Day.
Oh gosh.
Like Morehouse, leave me alone.
Hey, son.
Not gonna happen.
Hey,
man, a whole journey together. Whole life together. That's the beauty of the HBCU love.
Oh yeah.
And actually, Human Nature has a whole HBCU panel talking about that. So I really like that, Ty. As we all think about it, it's a whole community. You probably want to share with them, Ty, some of the individuals that'll be in addition to Miss Braxton, and get our famous young lady Ashley to throw those panels so people can anticipate what's going to happen. Love it. I love it. And go to record.
Until your I gotta add this joke to TR. Hey, that cash out me line. Look, some of y'all ladies getting out of hand with this random. Hey, cash out me $20 for lunch. Who are you? Nah, just joking. Roll it out social report, man. Wherever Ashley want to go, I'll go with her because she said she wanted to go there this time, even though producer Ashley don't show up. All right, so word is out. I announced yesterday. These are two separate cases. I announced yesterday about G. Herbo, who was under federal investigation for $1 million worth of fraud.
You say he bought expensive dogs, right?
And Casanova, who was under federal investigation for his affiliation with the Guerrilla Gang in New York. Well, ladies and gentlemen, both of them turned themselves in yesterday. G. Herbo, who was on the cover of Rolling Out, he turned himself into the feds in LA on yesterday on his account, and Casanova turned himself into the feds last night. And Casanova, I gotta say, he went live on Instagram as he turned himself in, and was literally like his last words on Instagram. Yeah, Ty. His last words on Instagram was like, "Hey, they was gonna catch up with me sooner or later, but I'll see y'all soon."
Question: So he got arrested for gang affiliation, but like, was it racketeering? Like, what was the actual charge?
The Guerrilla Gang in it was a RICO charge. The Guerrilla Gang in New York was under investigation for the death of two young men back in 2018. and he is one of the quote unquote heads of the table of the guerrilla gang. So, with a RICO charge, they want everybody. It ain't just a single. They taking the gang. So he a part of the gang, but he's a successful rapper, and he's a successful rapper. I listen to his music. I play his music. But he turned himself in last night.
Conspiracy to commit racketeering, conspiracy to distribute controlled substances, possession of a firearm, and furtherance of a drug trafficking crime. The U.S. Attorney's Office, Southern District of New York. This is reminding me of Ghost from Powers. They say this is a big rich town. But I will say that even though it's like with Casanova, that's a bad situation to be in. G Herbo's situation, though, you don't want to beef with fraud, investigation, tax evasion. That's a different type of federal crime to me. I feel like they go harder about the white collar crimes when it comes to not paying Uncle Sam and trying to get over, then they do, the type of drug and hood level charges that Casanova is going through. So I definitely think when it comes to lawyers, G Herbo is going to need a fantastic one.
What's terrible, what's relevant about the Casanova event is the fact that each one of those members, they knew what they were a part of. G Herbo, not only is he on the federal investigation time, his manager also got arrested, and four other of his crew members also got arrested as well. I mean, I'm like, could you, you're a part, you've seen the rappers and you're in the crew, right? You're in the crew. Hey, and somebody says, hey, use this credit card. Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna use this credit card to sign for it. Oh, okay. Swipe. We going to Jamaica for the weekend. I'll sign for it. Or use this credit card. Oh, yeah, buy this car. Okay, yeah, swipe. So I think some people in his crew got caught up and didn't know they was getting caught up, but they were putting their signatures on, on purpose.
It's just the sad aspect of being in this world where you're keeping up with the lifestyles of the rich and famous and trying to appease people. Looks like there's no reason why you should be getting arrested for buying $1 million pet or dog. Like, that's what they found out you did, that you spent thousands of dollars on bulldogs. Like, is it a dog?
This makes me sick to my stomach. Like, literally. Like, what? Ooh, like, what? I'm lost for words. I'm lost for words. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
He must have really been afraid. Only thing I can think about is the moments before he thought, okay, damn, I'm gonna have to turn myself in. Like, I don't want them to come and get me and maybe shoot me when they trying to come get me. Like, he was probably like, you know what? Let me just turn myself in. I gotta just,
yeah.
But I wish there was thought-provoking efforts that he had made prior to even getting into this type of situation, because I mean, dang, do they have to do this type of stuff as rappers, Romeo? I feel like they have
I think it's a requirement. I think it's a lifestyle requirement. I think that's in their contract to do something stupid. Like every rapper got to do something stupid. I think it's in the contract. But
pledged in. Maybe that's just the pledge. Like you, like you getting jumped in like games. It's like gotta be.
You definitely don't want those identity charges. I'll tell you. I mean, I know it's bad being in a gang. I ain't telling nobody out there to be in a gang. But at the same time, those scammers and people frauding, that's a different type of under the jail. There's no clemency for that.
Nah, let's stop giving them sympathy. You know what you signed up for. Now, G Herbo, you probably didn't know because you was just doing what was told. But
right.
Casanova, you know what you signed up for.
Yeah, Casanova, yeah.
The next story bothers me a lot. a whole lot. And I didn't want to bring this up, but I want to bring this up because I have to bring this up. So 11-year-old California boy fatally shoots himself during a online distant learning. During the class, the little boy shot himself.
Purposely or accident?
Purposely. 11-year-old California boy died Wednesday after shooting himself during a Zoom learning class. His microphone and his camera was off. When the teacher asked him to come back on, they couldn't. They found the boy with a headshot wound in his home. His sister was in the other room in her class. And when she ran into the room, she found her brother died laying on the floor with the gun in his hand. Hospital says it was self-inflicted, and he was immediately rushed to the hospital where the young man did not make it. There's no reason or answers to why as of yet, but this young man took his life yesterday during class. Every morning, my aunt calls my 8-year-old niece every morning before she goes to class, and she puts her in great spirits. Every morning, my aunt Connie calls my little niece, and she says, "Hey, you happy? You get ready for school? You dress?" She makes sure that mentally she is set and ready to go. This hit me so hard when I saw this, that this 11-year-old boy early in the morning on a Zoom class took his life.
Yeah.
And it made me think that a lot of parents, and I'm putting the weight on parents, a lot of parents are not mentally checking their children. They're putting a computer in front of their face and they saying, go to class. That's exactly what they do. Because there's a lot of kids who are having, we talked about it the last time, TR, there's a lot of kids having a problem learning. Well, it's the teacher's fault. There's a lot of kids having a problem understanding the process of you not going back to hang out with your friends. Oh, they'll get over it. No, they not.
Yeah.
Because this 11-year-old boy took his life.
Yeah. I think that, and this is something that I actually was sorting out in my last therapy session with my counselor the other day, just talking about the effects of the pandemic and how, especially for young people, you know, me being a recent college graduate, not being able to transition into anything else, but feeling like life just stopped as we knew it, can be extremely difficult for a lot of people who haven't been an adult for a really long time, or for children. It's kind of like you want kids to believe in Santa Claus for as long as kids can believe in Santa Claus. And it's like when the pandemic hit, it's like, no, this is what it's like when we don't have enough money. This is what it's like when we have to collect unemployment. This is what it's like when you have to wear a mask to go certain places because you could die if you interact with certain people. And I think that's really hard for kids to understand, and even for young adults like me to comprehend, not being trained to think that way. It just was like, okay, here's March, and all of a sudden it's all over. And we're seeing how crazy people in Los Angeles are getting right now about the shutdown and not being able to go out and feeling scared like they were in March. So I do agree, Romeo. People have to be more conscious of, if you're going to stop life as we know it and not give the education or the mental health therapy or just a clear understanding that this is just a temporary moment in history that we just unfortunately have to be a part of, and it's going to get better, people will get stuck in this season and feel like it's never going to end and feel like they can never go backwards and don't know what moving forward can look like.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm not, yeah, it's very sad. And you know, at the end of the day, you have to be intentional. And Romeo, to your point, parents are putting and themselves. So I know this was a 11-year-old boy, which is incredibly sad. But also too, you got to think about the parents and what state they may have been in. They probably weren't able to pour into. I think Munson made an example about a cup that's leaking. Yeah. Like you can't pour into a cup that's leaking. So the parents may not have been in the right mental state. So basically my point is you have to be very intentional with what you are seeing, what you are around, and what you pour into, because everything virtually isn't, or things that's not in your household. If you can't receive it from within your household, you're going to have to seek it from the outside to bring it in.
And you're absolutely right. So where does the responsibility come from? Because before I move on, my little niece, she has a father and she has a mother, she has a big brother, and she has a sister. But my Aunt Connie makes it a purpose. It's a purpose for her to call her in the morning. It's a purpose for her to call her after school. What I'm saying is, I agree with you. The house might be leaking, but we're a family. I'll tell you this. Ty has the ability to check me. Ty can call Romeo. I'll tell you this. Portia can't. Ashley can't, because I ain't gonna pay them no attention. Ty can call me and check me. Romeo, what you doing out? Romeo, what's wrong? Romeo, do you need to talk to me? Do I need to come over there? Ty can do that. That's what Black people don't do. They don't check the person. They want to coddle. They want to hold them in the arm and be like, oh, so it'll be okay. No, you have to, as Black people, we have to look at one another and say, hey, what can I do to fix what the problem is? Oh, I'm sorry, Tiana. I was on something else. Good morning. Your mute is on. I'm sorry.
Yes, Tiana. Yes. I wanted to stay muted because you were like going for it, and I was like, amen. Boom. Hi.
Put them in check, Romeo. Put them in check. Them beds are full. But good morning. It's rolling out AM. Go ahead, Takupa.
How you doing, my beautiful? Oh my God, you're so lovely.
Yes, I love it.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
So, welcome, our beautiful guest. We have, is it Tiana or?
It's Tiana. So similar to Ty. So Tiana. Yes.
So we have two Ties on the show, y'all know.
Absolutely.
Tiana Robinson here. She is a beauty mogul. As you can tell, she is beautiful, just going from inside out. But I want to welcome you to the AM Wake Up Call with Rolling Out. So please take this opportunity to introduce yourself to the audience.
Hey. So thank you so much for everyone for having me. My name is Tiana Robinson. I am a professional makeup artist by trade. I am located in Washington, D.C. I am also the founder of, and I guess we'll talk a little bit about this later, but I'm a founder of Makeup Mogul University, where I help freelance beauty pros learn how to fully diversify their business, which is so needed in this time of COVID-19. When we think about beauty services, the industry has changed, it's shifted. And so I'm helping beauty pros pivot in this season. So that's what I do. And I'm really excited to be here to have a really great conversation with you all.
So she is not doing herself any justice. I'll say that.
Most don't. You're so humble.
She is definitely humble. I'm really excited about having you on, because what was very refreshing to learn about you is the fact that how you have pivoted from doing these the services of a makeup artist or any beauty professional, or really anyone that does a service. Pretty much you have a platform, or I would like to say a blueprint of how you can make 6 and 7 figures virtually, and not having to always touch a face or do that service. Because like you said, right now, this pandemic is not allowing beauty professionals in particular to, do hair or, do someone's makeup. It's very, you got to be really, really careful. And those professional makeup artists that are out there, we're utilizing these safety parameters. However, that has still almost made our craft obsolete, where we don't have as many clients maybe as we used to before. But your approach, which we're really going to get into, is I love how you teach professionals overall how to literally like make 6 or 7 figures for that. So tell us a little bit about it. I don't want to just drop the do no grow, even though I know it.
Okay, you know my little system. No, but seriously, like this whole conversation came about because I realized early in my, so I've been doing makeup for about 5.5, 6 years. And I realized early in my career that when you are a makeup artist and you build your entire business around physically servicing your clients, meaning that's the only way that you make money, by nature, your income is always going to be limited. And so I found that I constantly had to grind. I constantly had to give up all of my weekends away from my friends and my family, just to be able to make a good living as a makeup artist. And what's a little bit different from other beauty pros is that our clients really only need makeup during the weekends. I'm not a celebrity artist. I'm not, I'm not working on major campaigns. I work with real everyday women, brides, right? Like people who need to have their makeup done for their family photos. So that happens on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And so I found that I wasn't able to fully step into my moguldom by just focusing on the makeup application aspect. So I had to think, okay, how do I expand this definition of service? Because I love what I do and I wanted to make it my full-time thing. I love beauty. I love makeup. I love talking about it. And so I realized that I had to expand. So I started offering classes and courses and trainings. And then other beauty pros started to notice, like, you starting to pop off a little bit on Instagram and doing this and that. And they started to pay attention to my signature makeup style. And they started asking me for support in their businesses. So I saw that as an opportunity as well. And so just through the process of expanding my own business and creating a diversified, what I call revenue recipe, where I'm making money from what I physically do. I'm also teaching. I also have merch. So I've got t-shirts and I've got, hold on, my little mug. On my mug, you can't really.
Yes.
Hold on, let me grab like mugs and merch. And like, you have this full brand that you can build your business on top of. That is the conversation that I want more beauty pros, more freelance beauty pros to have. That is the way. And so I basically packaged that, that thought process into a formula. You mentioned it. It's called my Do, Know, Grow formula. And it is literally the recipe, the strategy that I take freelance beauty pros through. Yes, we want to make money from what you physically do, like fill up your books when you can, but we also want you to make money from what you know. So classes, courses, trainings, right? Preparing people to get on Zoom and look as fabulous as you do, Ty, and you do, Tiara, right? But also having those products that you can retail to your customers. There's no reason that hairstylists, makeup artists, estheticians, brow tech, lash tech, you shouldn't be sending your clients to Sephora and Ulta and the beauty supply store, because it's easier than ever to develop your own products, right? And people don't know that it's actually quite easy nowadays to have t-shirts, have your own lash line, your own makeup line. And so we teach that process in Makeup Mogul University, and the results have been transformational to the artists that have joined me as a result of the pandemic. Because I've been saying this since before the pandemic, we gotta diversify. But when the stuff hit the fan in the spring, and people really understood, like, oh, overnight, my business was very different, right? Then they started enrolling, and like we started doing this work, and it's just been incredible what we've been able to help makeup artists and beauty pros do in their business in such a short amount of time.
I love that so much, because I think that when it comes to entrepreneurship, people feel like they have to know everything for themselves and they can't share the valuable information. And it's almost like a crabs in a barrel mentality that if you know the steps to success that I took, then you're going to impeach on my success. How has that been for you? What led you to say, you know what, I'm good enough to be a coach at this, and to be selfless, and also to be confident in who you are, knowing that what you have to provide in your services are extremely special and extremely unique to who you are, that you don't mind sharing the recipes for success with others?
I love sharing. So again, that comes from my journey in building my own business. I always came into my business treating it like a business. Like it was never a hobby. I never wanted to be a struggling artist. Like that was never my ministry. And so when I started to take my business seriously, I invested in my first coach. And then I got obsessed and started investing in all these other coaching programs. I had to go outside of the beauty industry to learn the fundamentals of how to actually build a real business. Beauty is just the vehicle. But what kind of fuels my business on the back end is like real business principles, like digital marketing, like, you know, automation, like all those things. So I had to go outside. And what I realized is that you can't be what you can't see.
Exactly.
And so I find that so many beauty pros struggle to see bigger for themselves just because there's not too many models of this within the industry. Most beauty pros believe that you have to be a celebrity artist, or you have to be working on major campaigns, or you can't just be a regular artist who's or regular hairstylist or esthetician and have this kind of success. And it wasn't until I made investments in my business outside of the beauty industry and started having a seat at different tables that I realized how this could all fit together. And it's because other coaches and mentors poured so selflessly into me and showed me that, hey, you can share everything that you know, and people will implement it in their own different ways. They'll put their own special sauce in it, and it doesn't diminish you at all. In fact, it makes your flame glow brighter. And so I've always had the mindset of like, let me teach what I know, right? I share this every time I do a workshop. I share this because I want everyone to have the same mindset. You will always make more from what you know than what you do. Right? You'll always make more from what you know than what you do, because what you know is scalable. You can share it with the masses. And that's exactly what I want to do here. I want to share what I know to the masses, because if I grow and you grow and the next beauty pro grows, we all grow, and we create an infrastructure and an industry where we're all doing better because we know better. So I feel like it's my call and my mission. Like I want to completely change the way that beauty pros, especially Black beauty pros, do business. So our clients take us more seriously. We take ourselves more seriously. And when we think about it from a historical perspective, beauty has always been our side hustle, right? We've been braiding hair in school. That was my side hustle at school. We've always, you know, popped the trunk and had Avon in the trunk. We've always been pulling up, right? So now we need to bring it into, you know, 2020, 2021, and let's put some real strategy behind what we've always been doing so beautifully.
Right. Okay, so boom, right? Like, when I tell you this, listen. Oh, I just, yeah.
And you feel me, because you're a beauty expert, like you're in the industry, so you know.
I feel like you are really like preaching right now, and I think your message needs to get out even the more, which is why I said, no, I gotta have Tayana on this show. We gotta do a separate mirror segment where we dive a little bit deeper into it. I will definitely reach out to you, and because I really like the fact that you dug so deep. Like, don't let it fool you. Her success did not come overnight.
Oh no.
There was a lot of preparation and planning. As you heard her say, she mentally thought of being a beauty professional as a professional and treating her business as a business. So she went after business coaches. And so there's things that we definitely want to do. I would love to be a part of Makeup Mogul University as well.
Join us.
Yes, I need to, sis. I'm going to definitely connect with you, but I love the fact that you are sharing this knowledge. You're sharing this knowledge of wealth, I would say, for these struggling artists that's out there, because even though you may do a celebrity, guess what? Half the time, the celebrity is not even paying you. It's a pro bono thing, right? Okay.
Which a lot of people don't know.
Right. That's why I said we got to do a whole nother like mirror segment. But definitely, there's things out there that Tayana is teaching you and can teach you in Makeup Mogul University. And just in general, you have such a beautiful spirit and a sharing spirit at that, where, you know, it's necessary at this time. So I really feel like God has placed it upon you to really transform the beauty industry and the way that we all think about how we really maneuver and work our talent. So thank you, sis, so much for coming on. I know we don't have nothing but like a minute left.
It's okay.
But
so much. Yes.
I'm definitely going to connect with you because I want to dive deeper into Do No Grow, Makeup Mogul University, and everything you bring forward with the Rolling Out family. Definitely want you to end the show with something, or at least your segment with how people can find you, how people can reach out to you, and actually go ahead and follow your mission. Continue to.
Okay, so my beauty party is on Instagram. So you can find me on Instagram at Tayana Robinson Beauty. That's where I'm dropping gems. I'm always in my stories, connecting and doing that whole thing. If you're interested in Makeup Mogul University, go to makeupmoguluniversity.com. There's going to be a wait list there. And I will let you know when you sign up when our next free training will be, because I like to do free trainings just to get deeper into Do No Grow, understanding how you can apply that to your business. And I do it for free, just because I want more beauty pros to start understanding these concepts. So sign up for the wait list. I'm probably not going to be doing anything before the end of the year, but definitely in January, we are hitting the ground running so we can go into 2021 with power. My word for the year is quantum leap. So I want all of us to be taking quantum leaps in our businesses in 2021. And I want to be doing that together with you. So if you know a hairstylist, esthetician, makeup artist, oh my gosh, nail tech, lash tech, your favorite beauty pro, send them my way so we can help them get their business together and turn it around.
I love that.
Thank you so much.
Be on the lookout. I'll message you so we can connect and get more.
Yes.
All right. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Bye. Thank you. So,
yes,
Tayana is amazing. When I tell you, she hits it for a lot of beauty professionals out there. I mean, and just you don't even have to be a beauty professional.
Just business. She said
it's just business. Like she broke it down. Yeah,
we're gonna do this.
Hey, how are you? Welcome everybody to Peace and Purpose. We have the one, the only Zaza. How are you?
Oh, brother, how you doing? How you guys doing?
Spiritual extraordinaire, true goddess, energy transformer. We want to welcome you here to Peace and Purpose and Rolling Out AM with Romeo International, Tia Berry, and of course Ty. For all of those who are tuning in to Peace and Purpose, we've got Zaza. She's going to give us an idea of what this moment is for all of us who are working and trying to work through where we are in the universe at this moment. Where are we, Zaza?
Well, first, thank you guys so much for having me. It's an honor to be here with you, and peace and love to all of the viewers that are tuned into us. This is a monumental moment in history, you know, and I'm so thankful and so grateful to be alive right now, to be a witness to what's happening on this planet. You know, a lot of people have been, not just since the beginning of the pandemic, but, you know, for a long time now, been living in fear-based consciousness. Fearful about money, fearful about relationships, fearful about racism and white supremacy, fearful about this global network that has kept, you know, our people and people that look like us suppressed and oppressed. And this is the change of guards that's taking place. We're in a paradigm shift right now on this planet. So old systems are being destroyed and new systems are being rebuilt, or built, I should say. So in order for us to qualify and to prepare for what's happening, we have to go within and start doing internal reflection to get our frequency, so to speak, in the right space. When I say frequency, I'm talking about how you think, how you feel, how you breathe, how you live, and how you eat. So those are the key components to maintaining your frequency. We're all electromagnetic beings, and we can get into that a little bit later. But this is a beautiful, beautiful moment in time for us to watch the change of guards take place.
Well, I want people to know you're a full author. We've got a whole morning show. I wanted you to start it because I wanted people to understand and get the mindset. So we're going to set it. We've got a young lady who clearly is Miss Black and Gold. We've got Linda Williams coming, but I want you to be a part of our morning show because we want the community to know it is a reset. It is time to reimagine. It is time to tune in and to pour into things. So what are a couple of books that you have actually published that they need to really go out and think about? We're going to have them on blackbookstore.com, but just to give them a place to start, to study, because we need to all be studying.
Yes, well, my most recent workbook, Change Your Mind from Lack to Abundance, it is a walking or a goalpost, I should say, from moving from a fear-based consciousness into moving into an abundance-based consciousness. 2020 was the year of the visionary, depending on where your state of consciousness was, right? And 2021 is where we're going to start seeing those visions, those goals and aspirations come into fruition, right? So again, how you think and how you feel right now is going to set the tone for what's going to happen this next year and coming forward. So I think that is very important for us in Change Your Mind from Lack to Abundance. I talk about learning how to understand what your master teacher is. So when you go back through your childhood or different experiences that we've had, some traumatic, some not so traumatic, all of those things, the family dynamic that we come from, for us, our culture as melanated people, right? All of those things kind of set the tone for the person that you are going to become. So learning how to look through your childhood experiences, if you had an abusive parent, if you had an alcoholic parent, if you've been through sexual abuse, if you have abandonment issues, learning how to change the trajectory on how we see those things and look at those things as master teachers to define what our actual life purpose is. We walk through that in the actual book. And then also, where is your center? What are the things that make you thrive, that make you feel alive, that make you feel invigorated and feel inspired? A lot of us are reacting to life opposed to consciously creating reality. So that's what I do in my workbooks in particular. I've written 3 metaphysics workbooks right now, is learning how to help people develop mentally and spiritually the aptitude to be able to consciously create our reality, meaning honing in on your vision, honing in on your focus, and then actually watching it come into manifestation in your life.
Zaza. Okay, you want to start off this Friday? Let's start off this Friday. I'm 100% with you, right?
Yes.
I think people did not have the opportunity to adjust because like you said, when 2020 hit, it was a reality check. It wasn't the reality check from your friend that you could just be like, oh yeah, I hear you, and brush it off. No, it was like life reality checked you and said, hey, this is what you need to do. And a lot of people tried to figure out mentally where they were, physically where they were, and financially, how to stay afloat, right? Within that process though, I think it took maybe people 2-3 months to adjust. What would you say during that period of adjustment was the most important? Was it?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you think about it, and I know we all know people personally as well as what we've seen on social media, some people went into that time frame and into that situation fully focused on working out, fully focused on watching what they eat, fully focused on internally being reflective, meditative, etc. And then some people did none of that. Mm-hmm. And some people didn't take that time serious and take what's happening on the planet seriously right now, right? Now let's backtrack a little bit, because we know through coronavirus, this is a system that attacks the immune system, right? And it's not a system, excuse me, a disease that attacks the immune system, right? So if we look at our culture and our people, how long have we been asleep at the switch when it comes to actually taking care of our bodies, what we actually eat? How many people since the beginning of this year have not changed their diets, have not been focused on what they actually put in their bodies, right? Going back to the financial aspect and the economic aspects, how many of us work at jobs that we absolutely hate? How many of us have had business aspirations and goals that we haven't taken advantage of out of fear-based consciousness, right? Mm-hmm. So when I say that there's a paradigm shift now, and for a lot of people, I know it feels scary, it looks scary, right? But the universe and the creator has given us this golden opportunity, particularly since the beginning of this year. Okay, wait a minute. You know, the world's kind of falling apart. Everybody's in chaos. Everything's in chaos. What do I really want to do? If there was ever a time in the history of the world when you had a chance to stop, to realign, to focus and say, what is it that I really want to do with my life? It is now. So then now, because self-accountability, self-awareness, and self-responsibility is the number one factor right now. How many of us are actually taking accountability and responsibility for how we're thinking and feeling in the world that we want to create, opposed to just responding and being defensive towards life?
Well, we've got two wonderful guests here, Ty and Zaza. We're going to let them just kind of hold that inside their spirits for a minute and digest it while we invite our guests. We want to say congratulations, and we're proud of these young ladies. But Zaza, don't keep it going. We want to keep it going. It is all about transformation, and we want to recognize our new guests. Hey, Ty.
Good morning. We have some beauty queens, actual beauty queens that's joining us here this morning. How are you ladies?
Doing great. Nice to meet you all. Hello.
Nice to meet y'all.
Good morning.
So proud.
Don't leave a brother out. How you doing?
That's what I said. Hey, Avion.
Hey, good
I
morning.
didn't see Avion. Look.
We see you, brother.
Good morning.
How y'all feeling on this Founders Day?
Doing well. The temperature raised up a little bit. I don't like that. It needs to drop.
I know, right? It's crazy, but I definitely want to, to Tiara's point, welcome to the AM Wake Up Call show. I have co-hosts here, Tiara Berry and Romeo International and Zaza, the beautiful Zaza Ali here. Welcome to the show. We have you all literal beauty queens. We have, first of all, let me start off and say that this is Founders Day of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So congratulations there. We have Avion on, which is the president, correct, of the Zeta Mu chapter at Georgia State. So you can talk a little bit more about that, but we also have the beautiful ladies here from the Mrs. Mrs. Black and Old Gold Court, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes, which I was so lucky to be a part of that panel of judges, and we had the opportunity to elect and judge beautiful Jasmine and Brianna, and I think we are missing just one other young lady, but thank you all so much for joining the show.
Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, definitely.
So Avion, I want to get you to go ahead and jump right into the purpose and how everything is going and how you all put together the virtual beauty pageant, because that was like mind blowing to me. I was like, how in the world are they going to do this? But you all pulled it off very, very well.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Appreciate you wishing us a happy Founders Day. It's 114 years of our excellence and our innovation. And that's all we did right there. Just like my founders did 114 years ago, finding ways to be innovative. We had to do that. Uncharted territory, didn't really know how to pull this off. But just briefly, we started off last spring, actually. COVID struck in March, took like a 4 or 5, 6 month delay. And in September, I still felt this passion learning to, keep the pageant going. So we wanted to find a way to have it successfully in person and then still let our greater audience be able to experience the pageant. We set up we held it in our ballroom with a limited capacity for, COVID-19 guidelines. We set up a whole production team with a bunch of different cameras, merged all that footage together, got and we'll be, that footage later. So in essence, just took a lot of determination, a lot of willpower, a lot of patience and understanding from the court because it was a completely different experience than it had been in the past. There's a lot of teamwork and a lot of cooperation. So it went well. I'm really excited, and thank you again for judging. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Can I get Brianna, you and Avion to turn your cameras horizontal? Yeah.
There you go.
So we have Jasmine, which she's smiling. Y'all, when I tell you this virtual experience of this pageant was amazing. And when I tell you these young ladies, they came out, everyone that was a part of this pageant, they did everything. They did the swimsuit, they did the talent portion, they did the gown portion, like it was everything. And I was just so happy to be there because I was like, yes, go, this is amazing. But Jasmine, Brianna, because you all went through a certain amount of time, like it was longer than usual. Kind of tell us what was your experience and how you managed to get through it, even during this pandemic.
Bree, you want to start us off, sister?
Okay, yeah, I will. So honestly, I thoroughly enjoyed it being as long as it was, because the longer time, we had more time to develop real relationships with our pageant sisters, and something that we see that didn't end just at the pageant, but is still ongoing. And like, I feel like that's what I value the most from the pageant, from the experience, from COVID. Even though we couldn't have everyone that we wanted there, we still felt like there were enough people there that could support us because we had our sisters there every step of the way, no matter what. Like, it felt less of a competition and rather like just supporting each other. Like, whoever came out on top, we were gonna be happy for regardless, because we saw like each one of us struggle day in, day out, still keep it going even when none of us wanted to be there anymore because it was just like so long and like drawn out. But like, the support that I received from my sisters is really like the best part of all of it.
That's why I really wanted to take, this moment to talk to you all about it, because we have a virtual Peace and Purpose event that Rolling Out is putting on. It starts today. So I definitely saw how you all did come together during this pageant, and this virtual pageant for just so happened to be the Alpha's Founders Day today, and also how you all kind of collectively came together. It was a beautiful sisterhood. But we definitely thank you all so much for coming on and sharing why there was a purpose to what you were doing, and you found a connection with that. So definitely love what you all are doing. Jasmine, did you want to share anything before we go out?
Yeah, absolutely. First off, I want to say happy Founders Day to all the alpha men out there. Thank you for 114 years. I would definitely say that my favorite experience was getting to know my sisters. Like my sister said, the experience was a challenge for me. I'm not the typical pageant girl. And in the process, I had to challenge myself, be okay with being uncomfortable. And I think we all did. And I can definitely say that we all grew in the end and had a great time doing it. I would do it all over again.
Zaza, I wanted to, because Zaza, it has such a, what do you call it? She has a center around spiritual maintenance. So I would love for you to share something with these young ladies and how to potentially stay into their peace and continue to connect like they have been doing.
Well, congratulations to you both, and you both are very beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. The first thing I always recommend is tapping into your breath. And I know it sounds like such a simple thing, but I promise you, I used to get anxiety. I went through a phase where I was having anxiety attacks. And even not just when it's that severe, but just trying to figure out your way in life, right? There's going to be moments where you don't have clarity. You're struggling with making decisions. You don't know whether to go left or right. Stop, center yourself, and just focus on your breathing and just focus on being present. A lot of times the problems that we have in our life, we're not producing high quality solutions within because we are not tapped in internally. So when you are in a calm space, you make better decisions, you have clarity, you're more solution oriented, to not do what the world wants you to do, but to actually do what's in your best interest. So always focus on your breath and just really, really figure out what you really want to do with your life, not what your parents want you to do, not what the world thinks you should do, not specifically just based on money, but what your heart center actually wants you to do with your life and the things that you desire. And if you focus on those two things, and maintain the ability to be present, you will be very successful.
Man, Zaza, I need an app. I need my Zaza app in the morning time.
Morning.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Zaza, for sharing that with these young ladies. Again, thank you all so very much for coming on. We really appreciate the efforts and all these innovative ways that you are all continuing to push through, regardless of whether the pandemic is here or not.
Yeah. Staying in school, I love it. Staying active is so important. So congratulations to you both. Happy Founders Day to you. Aviana, and y'all all keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Every day.
Too. And we want to see you all at our Peace and Purpose. So I'll send you the links, okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Welcome everybody, rolling out AM. This is Peace and Purpose. Zaza, I want to pick it back up. Transformation is really key. And you use words like metaphysical. Mm-hmm. We need to create new lexicons and vocabularies inside our lives, embrace words like metaphysical, actually have a new relationship with breathing, and then find a place to be able to ask ourselves each and every day, are we centered? What are some of the other words? We're going through Peace and Purpose. Obviously, you have an entire moment where you're going to be and share with us during the program. But for those who are tuned in now, right now, what are some of the words like that they should actually embrace, add to their vocabulary as it relates to self-care, self-maintenance, and the relationship that we can increase with ourselves?
Well, one of the words I mentioned already, which was frequency. And we hear a lot of talk about frequency and vibration nowadays, right? It's kind of like a trending topic, but I don't think a lot of people really know how that actually pertains to each of us individually. So when I say frequency, I'm talking about a culmination of how you think, how you feel, how you eat, how you breathe, and how you live, right? And we could break each 5 of those topics down and, discuss family and relationships and money and finances and business. But those top 5 tiers to me represent the mental, spiritual, physical, and emotional aspects of all of us. Now, there's a Native American proverb that talks about the mental, spiritual, physical, and emotional 4 rooms, it's called. And I talk about this in the Change Your Mind workbook as well. Most of us only visit 1 or 2 rooms of ourselves per day, right? So as a mental, spiritual, emotional, and a physical being, the question for all of us is, am I taking care of myself in all 4 of those capacities? Am I mentally inspired? Am I invigorated? Am I reading? Am I studying, right? Another word is consciousness. So my state of consciousness, there'll be different tiers of people that will be listening to this, right? Somebody may listen and say, oh, that doesn't make any sense. I'm not trying to hear that. And then someone else may resonate with the energy and the conversation that we're having. These are different tiers of consciousness and awareness that we're all kind of tuned in on based on our perspectives. So if you look at that 4-room aspect, mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical, if we can focus on those 4 things every day and fine tune how we look at ourselves and how we look at the world, I feel like those are the keys to kind of pulling us out of this fear-based consciousness, pulling us out of this moment where the world's kind of in chaos and we don't really know what to do or what's going to happen, and turning us within, which is where the real power is. We talk about being centered and being calm. All of the studies of Eastern philosophies, even the origins of the Quran and the Bible, we look at the real depths of where those cultures were. It all talked about being present. It all talked about being mindful, and it all talked about being calm and being able to be silent. I always say, if you can't sit with yourself for 20 minutes and not have debts and bills and social media and emails and the world, you know, kind of picking at your brain for 20 minutes, then your mind doesn't belong to you, it belongs to the world, right? You know, we have to learn how to take our minds back and have sovereignty over ourselves.
Is it okay to be selfish? Because I'm on this thing right now. I'm on this thing right now where I have to wake up in the morning with me. I have to go to bed at night with me. So in the morning time, my morning meditation is all about me, how I feel, what I got to do, whatever. Then at night, when I shut the world off, you know, whether it's, you know, reading, you know, gaming, going to the gym or whatever, I've got into this mode where until I make sure that I'm okay in the morning and I'm okay at night, nothing else really matters throughout that day, unless I'm selfish enough to make sure that I'm good. That's okay, right?
Of course. And I think we have this negative connotation about being selfish, right? And, you know, rightfully so. If you out just looking for yourself and stepping over people in the process, there's a caveat to that. But, you know, I think that we need to start underscoring, we've lost sight of the importance of the individual, right? So we talk about unity, which is important. We talk about the collective, but we don't really hone in enough and empower each other enough as individuals. So yes, it is absolutely important for you to be selfish. I say all the time, you know, it takes so much energy to get in a good rhythm. It takes so much to have a consistent mental rhythm, to feel like, okay, life's going good. You know, I finally am starting to get the hang of this. And then one little thing can happen, the wrong conversation, the wrong interaction at the bank, you see something on social media, now all of a sudden your whole energy is off course. So now it takes you a week, maybe 2 weeks to get all the way back to the center. So absolutely, it is very important to be internally focused. When I feel my energy shift, if I'm watching something and I start to feel tightness in my chest, nope, I'm turning that off. If I'm on social media and I see something that rubs me the wrong way, nope, I'm turning that off. If I'm having a conversation and I start to feel that conversation going left, family members, friends, etc., hold on, I got another call, I'm gonna hit you right back. Right? So that is me being that internally focused and aware. When I start to see my energy shift, I'm shifting, right? I think that we have been trying to build institutions on the backs of broken people. And this is why we have not been successful in getting a full-fledged momentum collectively as a culture, because we're coming in and we're talking about economics and agriculture and business and the importance of all these different things, schools, education, but we're doing it on the backs of broken people. So we've got to re-emphasize the importance of the individual, of you being able to be sovereign-minded, where if things are shifting or things are going wrong in the world, okay, pause, let me put me first so I can come to the table, you know, whole, as they talked about before with the cup, you know, being empty versus full. So I can actually contribute something instead of being, you know, contributing less than what I actually have the potential to do.
And that's the leaky cup, because I don't even know that many of us understand. There was a trick when they said the glass was half full and half empty. You know, the universe is limitless, so your cup should be running over in how you perceive, and we repeat that. You know, I'm half full. No, you really should. Your cup should be running over, and that is the only principle. So we affirm things that are truly unaffirm our success. You have full is 50%. That's an F in everybody's book. 50% is an F everything. I think the value proposition here is just understanding when you say broken, it's the leak that's inside of you. It is that constant thing that we want to put plugs in that spiritually so that you can visit for rooms so that you can actually feel and identify with other cultures and principles that are healing. So if you say Native American, we should be thinking and know. And I think this is the moment of Peace and Purpose where we want people to know Zaza Ali. Add one more person, add one more author, add one more spiritual guide, add one more spiritual presence to your life. I mean, that's what Peace and Purpose is all about. And there are opportunities, and we want you to be abound, but we want you to understand about home ownership. We want you to understand that it's a journey. You don't have to have anxiety about it. Make sure that you're moving in that direction. We know that sisterhood is important. So we know that there are franchisees, there are female franchisees. They're going to be present there. And Zaza, I am so grateful that you've come this morning because it's important that we all begin to align and create a lexicon that says center, that says center, that says center. I think it's really key.
And can I add something to that? That's very profound what you said. You know, when you talk about the glass being half full versus half empty, if you have a consciousness of the glass being half full, you're going to attract a relationship with a man or a woman that is half invested. You're going to attract a partnership or a business with a person that is maybe have some good intentions for you, but also have, you know what I'm saying, ungood intentions for you, right? You're going to attract experiences in business and in relationships and in family and in your everyday life that are half full opposed to full, right? Because that's your perspective on your life. We really do create our own reality based on the way that we are thinking and feeling. I cannot emphasize that enough. And I go into the science of it in my workbooks where I talk about your actual thinking. It actually releases electromagnetic waves that go out into the universe. And now all of a sudden you were thinking about all men ain't good, all men are dogs. Now all of a sudden you attracted another dog. Well, that's kind of what you told the universe you wanted through your energy, through your frequency. You know what I'm saying? So it's imperative, especially right now, especially when we have time. What do I want my world to look like? What do I want my relationship to look like? Not what did he do 10 years ago? Not what did she do 5 years ago? And being able to take ownership of those relationships, those people that we attract in our lives. Everybody comes on our path to help us to shape the person that we're trying to become. So if you still have residue from a past relationship, guess what? It's going to show up again. You know what I mean? If you still have residue based on your boss last year who was a jerk, who did you wrong, who fired you, now you at a new job and all of a sudden you got another boss that's a jerk, that's treating you wrong, you're emitting a signal as an electromagnetic being. You're emitting a frequency that is attracting you to like-minded experiences and circumstances. So that half full connotation, we've got to reprogram how we think about life. Like you said, the universe is full of abundance. There's lacking in nothing. When the coronavirus, when the epidemic was at its peak and we were all kind of stuck in the house, and I would get up in the morning and sit outside, the birds were chirping. The worms were doing what they were supposed to do. The bees were out, the ants were out, the wind was blowing in the trees, the leaves were falling. Everything in nature was operating according to its natural capacity. We have to get back in alignment with that God awareness, that God consciousness. And remember, we're not alone. The universe is 100% with us, waiting for us to get in alignment, waiting us to get in the right frequency for that job, for that man, for that woman, for that money, for that inner peace, for that perfect state of calm and consciousness. We deserve it. It's our birthright, but we have to prepare and qualify ourselves for it. It doesn't just come. We have to bring ourselves into the fruition of it.
Man. That's so profound. And I love that you say that, because I've been championing for myself the idea that direction is so much more important than speed. And especially living in this generation where everything is all about scrolling on social media and seeing this person doing this and feeling like you have to do more and be more in order to be on track to where you want to go. So what advice do you have for those of us who have had a hard time understanding that slowing down can actually be the most profound thing you can do in order to get to where you're supposed to be?
Oh yeah, and that's a great point. You know, direction opposed to speed, and I think that's something that really, really needs to be reiterated, particularly to the younger generation. But you know, it's like, and I have experience with this. You can work hard for 6 months, and this is just a short time frame, right? You can totally pound the pavement, work hard, grind for 6 months, or you can focus within. You can take a week and get your mind right. You can clean up your house. You can organize all the chaos in your life, right? You can stop answering the phone for the energy vampires. You can learn how to be still and learn how to be just with yourself, which a lot of people are scared to do. That's another conversation. And then get the same amount of work done in 2 weeks that you did in 6 months, right? A lot of times we're multitasking, particularly women, right? So we're all over the place. We're everywhere doing everything. Brene Brown has this concept where she talks about hustling for worthiness, right? So, and when I heard her talk about this, so many lights went off in my head, because I work with clients as well as my own personal background, where you're staying busy just to make it seem like you are doing a lot, just to make it seem like you're doing what you're supposed to do, right? So stopping, being objective about what's really happening in your life. There's also a concept I talked about energy leaks, where we have had relationships, or we've had business partnerships, or we've had situations that are still kind of reeling, that never properly healed, that never properly got addressed. The communication just quickly ended without any real without any fullness, without it coming into fruition, excuse me. So we have these different things that are kind of nagging at us in the back of our spirit, problems with our mother, problems with our parents, issues with our children and whatnot. So I think when we stop and when we start to be internally focused, meditating, breathing, how we eat, etc., it allows us to stop having so much energy leaking in so many different places, right? Where we can consciously focus on whatever it is in front of us. We are way more productive when we're not all over the place, and where we're just calm, centered, and focusing on what's in front of us. So I ask people all the time, what is it that you do on a daily basis? One thing that you do where you are 100% focused on something that you really, really, really aspire to become or to do. Not on social media and at the same time answering emails, or on the phone and at the same time, checking on things for your business. Like 100% present, focused on something that you know is for your highest and best self. I do yoga. So I have an hour for that day where I'm 100% present and focused on myself. For some people, there's martial arts, Tai Chi, different things, healing modalities, so to speak. But I think that all of us should develop something that we do every day, vision board, visionary goals, practices, and whatnot, where we are 100% focused in the moment on something that is for our highest and best self.
Yeah. I was into my soul right now, man. I
needed that.
Man, you don't even have a clue right now.
Thank you.
Man, because I think it's eye opening for me, and I'm only speaking for me. I think it's eye opening for me because the way I move, I move like a self tank. Hey, I'm gonna get this done because I'm gonna get this done, and I don't need nobody to get this done. Or in the simplicity of, not letting that energy leak out into other people, or not, like you said, holding on to bad experiences energy and then passing it along to somebody else as if they were the cause of it, type thing. It is so what Tiara said earlier, it's so weird when you have to internally look at yourself and tell yourself, hey, you need some help here, or you're doing great here. That is, man, I'm about to fall.
Think about this, brother. So if that mindset, right? I don't need anybody, right? And a lot of us women, we have that mindset. I don't need nobody. I can do it all on myself. So what are you telling the universe? Because the universe it has the potential to put somebody on your path that could cut that workload in half, or that could financially invest in you so that you don't have to take the next 5 years and thug it out, right? Somebody could, a random encounter, right? If we're telling the universe through how we think and how we feel, I don't need nobody, I can do it all alone, then guess what? You won't get anybody and you will do it all alone. So
I need help. I need
guidance. And sometimes it's just, I need clarity. Sometimes this is just, I need clarity. I don't know whether to go right or left. I don't know whether she's here for good righteousness or if she's trying, or she has ill intent. Just being able to stop and be like, I need clarity, and just say it and put it out into the universe, and waiting that wait time and allowing it to come back to us. But you gotta be in the right state of mind. You can't be thinking from a fear-based, self-doubt, insecure state of mind and think that through that energy, you're gonna be able to process the clarity. No, you're going to process more chaos. You're going to process a disorganized way of thinking, because you're not even open to receive those blessings or to receive the clarity. So what you said is very important, because a lot of us, and I operated from that mindset for a long time. I don't need help. I don't need nobody. I can do this on my own. I've been doing it since I was 15. This is just the way it is. So it took me, it was a big learning curve for me to be like, you know what? I can, but does that mean I have to? Does that mean I want to? No.
Right.
Yeah,
Zaza,
and the other thing in terms of our presence, Ty, is just a language of love.
Yeah.
Like you know, you want to check even with what I do, is it loving? What I do, is it loving to myself? And that's down to when I get ready to eat.
Yeah.
When I eat, am I loving myself?
Mm-hmm.
If the answer is no, then you might want to eat a little bit less of that, and then get to where you don't have to eat that at all. And that's the question we want at Peace and Purpose for you to ask. Ask, am I living and loving myself? Not the likes. They got us chasing likes. Yeah. Let's not chase likes. Let's love ourselves enough that we're not worried about the likes. Let the universe like and love us back. And that's the language that I would like us to kind of think of as we move into Peace and Purpose. How much increased love and self-love and self-care can we come away with? That is what we want you to bring into your life, bring into your new year, that loving yourself, having a relationship with your physician, having a relationship with your banker, having a relationship with the mastermind group and the people that love you and will give you honesty and truth. It is really, really important that we all that. So everybody on Facebook, there is a link that they're putting in. You've got a free ticket just for supporting us here at the Rolling Out Morning Show for it. We really appreciate all that you do and give us every morning as you tune in. We do want to thank and go to Positive Thoughts. Zaza, we do Positive Thoughts 5 minutes before the show ends, but we want to thank you. Let everybody know at some point. Ashley will tell us what time Zaza is coming back. Hopefully she'll participate the whole forum. It was great to meet you. But Zaza was truly what I want is for people to meet and know where you should spend some holiday gift money. Like if you think about what to give to somebody, I want you to know and Google Zaza Ali. Obviously, we'll put her books in Black Bookstore, but I don't want you to wait because I'm not going to lose if you buy and support her today. I'm not going to lose. I want you to get clarity spiritually. I'm not going to lose if you buy your books directly from her today. We have to understand what cooperative economics is. Your competition is not me. Your competition is how you give to Walmart or Target and not think about us. Think directly as often as you can. If it's a lipstick, it can be from Ty. If it's some gummies, if it's a house you need to buy, it can be from Tierra. If it's a DJ or influence, it's Romeo. But let's go directly in love to our community. And I think we need to understand it. And obviously Walmart is a partner. So they're not afraid of us either. You don't have to, that's cooperative economics. Let's not fear each other when we all benefit from our growth spiritually and economically. Positive thought of the day.
Well, my website is zazaali.com. I will put that out there and you can access all of my content there. You talked about love, right? And I just want to say, you know, there is a frequency that is attached to love and there is a frequency that is attached to fear. Love, when it's measured, is a slow, methodical, even kill frequency, right? You can see it. Fear is, right? So anything you fear, anything you hate, including the system of racism, white supremacy, affects your frequency. Are you moving in a calm, consistent, rhythmic energy? Or are you doing this? Right? So my emphasis is to focus on and move in love. It doesn't mean that you're not aware of what's happening in the world. It just means you love Black people opposed to hating white people. Because hating white people, hating anything, is counterproductive when it comes to that frequency, right? So if you are in a space where you hate your financial situation, or you hate the relationship that you're in, or you hate the condition of your life right now, find something to love. Nature. Go outside and look up. Look at the trees and the flowers and the birds and the bees and all of the beauty and the magnificence of this planet. If you don't have anything else in your life to love, including yourself, stop and look at nature and look at all of the abundance that we've been gifted on this planet, right? And then from there, start to backtrack. Oh, well, you used to want to be a sports broadcaster when you were little, but things, you had children, so now you couldn't do that. So now you're working at McDonald's, or you're working at Macy's, or you're a bank teller. Go back to the thing that you love. We're in the time of social media now. There are no limitations, right? So find something that piques your interest. If it's art, if it's science, if it's music, if it's poetry. Find something that makes your heart and your spirit flutter, that makes you feel alive again. And it doesn't have to be based around money out the door, right? It can just be based off of how you feel. Because whatever it is that you invest in that keeps that frequency consistent, right? And smooth and centered and calm, is going to clear the channel way of your consciousness that will start to bring those opportunities to you. So you're not pounding the pavement and banging your head against life and banging your head against the wall. Life is coming to you. Life is happening for you. So this is the importance of this moment in time now, where we've all kind of been sat in our proverbial corners. We have time now, right? We can focus our attention on the things that we actually want, opposed to the things that we don't want in life. Focus on something that you love.
All right. I guess she said for all of us, Usa, and definitely appreciate you, Zaza. I'll reach back out for you today. For all of you out there, we just want to know, thanks for tuning in. We're going over and hopping over to Hoppin'. We want to say thanks to our sponsors, both Cream of Nature and McDonald's and Acorn Investments and blackbookstore.com. Special thanks to Zaza for coming and sharing as we all transform during peace and purpose, and bringing and reimagining ourselves, our better selves in love. I'm Munson Steve, this is Tierra Berry, Romeo International, and Ty Cooper, and Zaza, that is Portia Monique out of Detroit over there.
For positive thoughts. I got my whole life today from you, Zaza. Thank you so much. I was listening behind the scenes, but you're definitely a blessing and definitely gonna follow. So thank you so much. Sorry for interrupting.
Peace and love to everybody. Roll out wake up call, peace and purpose for the next 72 hours. We love it, man. Peace.
We see tickets on Facebook. Let's go.